Done. So I would love go with the introduction part. So as I told you, Martha Poluch, along with her sisters Dorota and Barbara, visited Kolhapur in month of February, and it was so nice to meet her, the three of them, and we could share some of the studies what we were doing, and especially the paper that we had presented recently. Martha, I would like to introduce Dr. Sadanand Sahu. Sahu sir is an associate professor working in the School of Interdisciplinary and Transnational Studies at Indira Gandhi.
Transdisciplinary.
Yeah,
Sorry, the
interdisciplinary.
school of, can you say that again? School of what?
A School of Interdisciplinary and Transnational Studies.
Okay.
Yeah. Indira Gandhi
Yeah.
National Open University, Delhi. So he also visited Kolhapur, and he is my guide, and you can say he has been guiding me in writing the paper also. And actually, I am also doing my MA in Migration and Diaspora from Indira Gandhi National Open University, and his keen interest is in the subject of police diaspora in Kolhapur. So I'm basically from Kolhapur, and he also from Orissa, but still we have a nice connect and wavelength we could have on this subject. So he's also interested, I'm also interested, and he helped me in writing this paper. I should have to thank him very much. So this is in short introduction, and let's proceed with the further talks on this particular subject.
Okay.
Yeah, Ma. Yeah.
See, we actually now let's make it very open, and we'll see as our curiosity, our queries are there, we can discuss. And I just want to say to Martha that we are just beginning. It is not, we are just beginning, and we found that, in fact, I didn't know that there was a Polish diaspora in India, and such a huge number they came, during that time. Then it was a surprise for me when Rohit told that here there is a huge Polish diaspora and it's called Mini Poland, and I am interested to work on this. Then I shown my curiosity. I told it's a very important thing, and we should do because it's a huge, it has a history now, and it has a transnational impact now, and we should not lose this kind of history. And then we both are also, she also browsed literature, then I browsed. Then only thing we found that such a huge number of people came here. They have done so marvelous job, and they came during crisis. Now they have gone everywhere in the world, but we know very little about them.
Okay.
Then there are not much publication also, some news media articles, this, that. Then we thought, let's go and visit. Even before that, also Rohit visited, but after that, I also joined him, and we had a visit and see. We have seen them that places like Barrack. Then we saw all those places where your memories are there. So it was such a interesting thing. But only thing is, we don't have history for such a big, phenomena. So then Rohit told, I am not a researcher. I told, research will come over time when do. And maybe our research, this particular research will draw attention from police people because everybody wants their memory to be preserved, study to be done on them. So finally, what we expected is happening. You are also so much, willing to help, discovering this. So this is the beginning, and we are still, our first paper we presented recently. We have planned for many things. I don't know how it will be happening, but we have planned for a virtual museum, documenting all this, from your arrival to departure, and we want to connect with the older generation who are having lots of memory of their Kolhapur and going back, all this memory we don't want to lose. We want to prepare a very good documentary and connect with the new generation. So this is our plan.
Okay. Well, I think you probably need to start by seeing what's already been written. And I don't know whether you know Anuradha Bhattacharya's book, The Second Homeland. It's I only came across it, I only managed to get hold of it when I was in India. And it's a really, really well-researched book because, you know, all the stuff that's been written from the Polish side, very much Polish focused. But what Anuradha did is she went into all the Indian archives in Delhi. And so she found all sorts of additional documents which threw all sorts of interesting light on the whole situation. But the other book, which I can't find at the moment, is called Poles in India. And it was produced, if you look at it for it online, you'll find that the author is Teresa Glazer. But in fact, it isn't her. It was a collective. It was put together by the Association of Poles in India. And it's very interesting because it's an anthology of all sorts of things. So you have reproduction of various documents, you have people's memories, you have letters from that time, you have all the young people, because they'd come from labor camps and imprisonment in Siberia. They'd been through quite a lot of trauma. So they were all given notebooks and told to keep a diary. So they have also extracts from these diaries. But it's very interesting what you say about memory, because all of that happened in the 1940s, and they first started to collect these things in the 1990s. So people just were engaged in their lives wherever they were living, and suddenly they came together and they wanted to start remembering because they were already in their 50s and 60s. And I think there has been some studies about memory and how, you know, trauma, people don't want to remember trauma, and it takes a number of years before people are prepared to tell their stories of that trauma. And I don't know whether that's a particular thing that you're interested in, is the kind of, you know, theoretical aspects of memory and remembering. So obviously, so my godmother, who is my particular link to this, because my parents were not deported to Siberia. They left Poland through different routes. So my link to this is through my godmother. But this Association of Poles from India, they produce these bulletins. I really like the photo on this one.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So they have these regular bulletins, which, you know, this one was in Poland. So they had a reunion of the Poles from India in Poland. They've had various ones, obviously, in India, in Kolhapur and so on.
Lot of things. Good.
Sorry?
Very nice.
Many things you are knowing now.
So most of these are written in Polish, but some of them have extracts in English. And so what I can do is I will look through this collection and I can scan any of the English articles and send them to you. But I really strongly suggest that you get hold of that book, Poles in India, and it's available. I've just ordered it. You can get it on Amazon, but if you prefer to buy from a more ethical company, you can get it from World of Books.
No, we'll not wait. We'll buy it quickly as possible.
Yes, we will buy it surely.
So, but obviously, so my godmother is 98, and she arrived in India when she was 18. So there's not a lot of those people who are actually in those camps left.
Okay.
So it's more, you know, people like me who are already in our 70s, who are the next generation. And Danuta's other goddaughter, who is much closer to her and works with her very closely. I just met her the other day. And she's one of the people that's very involved. So it's the second generation whose parents were the ones that spent time in India, who are now most interested in keeping that memory alive.
Absolutely. I'm surprised to say that in people from Kolhapur, most of them, they don't know even that the Polish people were there from 1940 to 48.
Yes.
I was really surprised. And in Delhi, particularly when I went to this conference, it was quite new for the people around, and they were really impressed. Sir knows very well. So when I started presenting, it was like, oh, for them, Polish people were there in Kolhapur. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. No, no, it was really surprise for them, and they got so much involved, and I like that, and it was very exciting for them, and they give me this thumbs up. Rohit, you are doing excellently. It's a very rare subject, and you're touching that subject. I really felt very good.
Yes, and I think for us as Poles, what you're doing is so valuable because, of course, we can't go and interview those people who were in the area and have those memories because we don't speak Marathi or Hindi. And so for us, what the work that you are doing with those interviews is incredibly valuable. And I just think that everybody is very grateful for the work that you're doing.
Thank you so
it's
much.
not something that we could do.
Thank you, Martha. Yes, we have actually, since it is a icebreaker for us to interact with you and know further, we have actually this particular, we have a forum also, migration and diaspora forum, where Chinese diaspora in India, Polish diaspora in India, we have
So your voice is breaking.
Yes.
special program on that.
Sir, your voice is breaking a bit.
Can I close? I'm closing this video so that it will be better.
Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, we'll close the video.
Okay. So we can, with the help of Martha, we can think of a series of seminar on Polish diaspora in India. Maybe we can have 3 to 4 parts, like the early part where they came from Siberia to here. Maybe 1 or 2 people who are, knowledgeable about that, having memory on that, if they can share. We'll have few question answer. Maybe from your generation, different generation can participate and have question answer. That is one. Then in India, whatever experience, maybe some people can share within India what they have experience.
Yes.
And also at this point, how they relate with India and how where they have spread, all those things, if we can have a series of talk, that will give us the first-hand information, and also our audience will know. Because book is one thing which can go to reader, but with seminar, through seminar format also, you can reach some people and it can be interactive.
Okay. There's also a film which is called My Home India. I think there have been a couple of films, but this one, which I saw at the London Indian Film Festival, is made by Anjali Bhushan, and it's called My Home India. And she does a lot about the history. She used lots of archival images, and she interviewed my godmother, among others, people who had been in the camp, but mainly she focuses on the story of Kira Banashinska, who was the wife of the Polish consul at that time in India. And she was very involved with it. Do you know about this?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Martha, we know that because I think she mobilized the funds and from the princely states also to run the
That's
camps.
right.
And not only she also influenced the British government also so that she could take a personal care. She could take the care at Balachadi and Valivudi also camp.
Okay.
So she mobilized the funds from the princely states and from the British government.
Yes. And, yes, I found out all about the princely states from Anuradha's book. Yeah.
And one more thing.
Yes. So have you seen the film then?
No, actually, we have touched this subject just only 3 to 4 months back, and I think we are going on exploring more on this, and that's why this platform, so that we can exchange and we can enrich. I forgot to mention, Martha, when you went back to England, I came across one tailor who was in the Bollywood camp.
Yes, you sent me the picture. Yes.
Yeah, his name is Sardar Desai, and his grandson is also continuing the same profession, and and his shop is named S Masters. At that time also it was S Masters only in Bollywood camp, and before when the Polish people left Volode camp, uh, he was the main tailor who used to stitch suits and blazers for the Polish people. And before they departed, they handed over to Sardar Desai a mirror in remembrance. So
Oh,
that
wow.
mirrors, yeah, that mirror, this grandson still he has preserved it in his house.
Oh, okay.
Only
Okay.
thing that I got very less time, so I could not go to his house and take the picture of
Mm,
that
okay. Okay.
artifact. So this
Right.
is one I'd like to share. But definitely he has invited me one day, and he'll be
Okay.
showing that mirror to me. So
Okay.
that I would show to you. Yeah.
Okay. And did you meet Mr. Solanki from the ice cream shop?
Yeah. Pardon. Could you please repeat?
Mr. Solanki.
Yes,
He
Solanki.
was.
Okay. So yeah, yeah. Solanki. I met his great grandson, and he also vividly, explained how things were. But I got a very less time.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Because he also said he had a lot of photos.
yes, yes, yes. There is one more called Urunkar Khandoli. Khandoli is something a souvenir, a dish, a palatable dish that
Uh-huh.
he learned from the Polish people, and
What
and
was it
he
called again?
it is called as Khandoli.
Okay. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
Urunkar's cafe. So actually, I could not get his appointment. He was busy because he's running his
Okay.
business full fledged. So I thought after this I can meet him. So this is one more
Okay.
person I could get. These are the gaps. What Martha, I think that people
Yes.
from their forefathers, they have the memories kept with them. Like
Yes.
Sardar Desai, one of the Polish camp people recommended uh, arts school of Illinois in USA to
Uh-huh.
Sardar Desai to go and get his further degrees from USA. So
Okay.
Sardar Desai went to USA. He got that degree in arts, stitching art from Illinois, from USA.
Okay.
He came back. So this is also one of the members.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you know about Colonel Gaikwad?
Colonel Gaikwad, I personally went to his house near
Oh,
New
good.
Palace. Yeah, he
Yeah.
gave me an appointment. I went to him. He was so wonderful person. And fortunately, 10 to 15 years back, it happened that I was setting a college in Kolhapur, and he at that time had plans to rent his area on lease. So I was looking for a area on lease, and I came across him that time 15 years back. And then I told him that whether he can recall, but now he's also a aged person, so he
Yes.
didn't remember it anyways. But
Oh,
he told me that whatever help you required, whatever
good.
the artifacts, I will help you, I will give to you. So you please go ahead. He gave his best luck to me through the conference.
Oh, okay.
I had a
Oh,
nice tea
that's
with him.
lovely.
Yeah, yeah. I had a nice tea with him that day, and he told me that once the conference is over, you come back again. We will have a talk. So he was a nice
Okay.
person, Colonel Gaikwad. Yeah,
Oh, that's really great. And
yeah.
what about this, the museum? Do you
Oh,
think that
yeah,
is likely to go ahead?
yeah. I think they are coming with
We
the
we
yeah.
need to do lots of research in first hand to know about things. Then we plan it, after that.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's just because I think it was the Maharaja's son who originally it was his idea to start the museum. And I sort of, when we went to see the place and
Mm,
the building that they've made for the museum
mm,
and it's standing empty,
mm.
I was thinking if something doesn't start happening soon, that building won't be available.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In,
I got confused. I thought some virtual museum,
no.
physical museum. Okay.
Sir, it is actually the physical museum is coming up in Bollywood, but
Okay.
Martha, what we are thinking is that uh, this museum is coming at that its own pace. There, it is going to take some time
Okay.
because some funds are required for that. What Colonel Gaikwad told me, because it is actually, in fact, it is Colonel Gaikwad's idea, which was given to the Sambhaji Raja, the present prince,
Oh, okay.
that to come up with the museum.
Okay.
So this is what I'd like to
Okay.
share.
Well, Okay, so I was speaking to, so there's a new a bulletin coming out quite soon, and Ivona, who's the woman who's putting it together, my godmother's other goddaughter, I was speaking to her, and she said, I said, why don't you put something in the bulletins about whether people have artifacts that they would be willing to donate to the museum?
Yes.
So she's going to do that. And she's also, as I say, people are really quite elderly now. So, you know, my godmother was 18 when she went there. There might be people who were there as younger children who will be in their 80s, but I don't think there's that many who will still be able to make the journey to India. But I did say, we did agree with her because she's very keen to come again. And I think there probably are other people of this next generation who would be interested to come. So she's also going to put out in the next bulletin to find out how many people would be interested in another journey to Kolhapur.
Very nice. Yes, yes. Uh, uh, very fun, very fantastic. So this idea.
Okay,
This
I
will
should
definitely.
also say, I don't know if you've had a chance to explore, there is an awful lot of this online as well. So they have an organization called Krese, because Krese means the borderlands. And there is an awful lot of stuff online. I don't know if you've seen it.
Elsewhere, you have the network, transnational network.
Yes, they definitely have a network. And some of the events have been, so some people returned to Poland.
Okay.
Quite a lot of people were given the right, you know, so all the Polish soldiers who had fought with the Allied armies, who didn't want to return to a communist Poland, were given the right to stay in the UK. So large numbers, tens of thousands, or maybe even over 100,000 came to the UK. But those women and children who were in those camps who didn't have men who were in the army were not given that right. So after the camp in Kolhapur closed, they actually went to East Africa where there were other refugee camps. And from there, people went to different places because, you know, the Polish have been migrants for centuries. So a lot of people had distant family in the USA and Canada and in Australia. So people spread all over. And yeah, this association has members from all those places.
Yeah. Martha, see,
So, you know, what
5,000.
you could write a piece for the bulletin saying what your research is and what you want, and that would be a really valuable thing to go into the bulletin so people could be aware of you know the work that you're doing.
Okay, fantastic. So one more thing, Martha, we have a series actually, as I mentioned, Thursday Forum. Can we have one or two people from your network who can narrate the story about the, their, from coming from Siberia to here, or while living in Kolhapur, what is their history, memory? They can just narrate, or after leaving Kolhapur, maybe 2, 3 sessions we can have on those, but it will be like free sharing of idea. Maybe somebody can speak on the time they came from here. I know there are books already, but we have a very young generation of students and all these people. They'll be very happy to hear directly from people if something can be done.
Okay, well, you see, you know, I think my godmother, it would be very difficult. She can't hear very well. If you ask her a question, she won't be terribly coherent. She'll repeat things and say them over and over because that is the age group of those people. And so that's why I think that some of the things that were recorded earlier, like Anjali's film, you know, you don't have to watch the whole film, but you could cut some of those things. And I think that with Krese Family, you might find things there as well, which, because they were recorded at a time when the memory was still closer. But I can certainly ask. I mean, I've not been a member of the association myself. And as I say, my main link is through my godmother, but there are lots of other people that I don't know. But I will ask that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
would this be like an online meeting?
Online.
Okay. Okay. Great. Well, if you could send me something in writing about what you're looking for, and then
Yeah, sure.
that would make it easier for me, so that I'm not explaining what you're doing and making mistakes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Definitely, sir. We will send her a few things that will make the idea clear. What we are expecting. Yeah, Martha, 5,000 Polish people, 5,000 memories, and there are some pockets in Kolhapur that are said to be deciphered, explored, and
That
now,
are said to be.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, 5,000. You see, now when I'm meeting these people on field, in fact, they're so overwhelmed and so excited to tell about small things that they have shared with the Polish people. So this is like it is memories they are sharing actually, in fact, and this is going to enrich to our literature, and I don't know what will take to the next level of the research. But what happened? Most of these I have observed on online, on Google also. Most of these is films and short films are done on the Balachadi camp. But see, Kolhapur also had provided the asylum to 5,000 people, and I'm looking into the Kolhapur Gazette record also. Actually, what happened at that time, and how this particular camp was managed, uh, and how British people were there who had plays a major role in the administration. But what was the role of the Kolhapur Princely State? That still it has to be brought to the light. So I think I will get some documents that I'm requesting from the Kolhapur Gazetteer. So let's see. Yeah, I will share to you. I'll share that.
Yes. Well, I must say that Anuradha's book does cover quite a lot of that stuff. I mean, I learned so much about, the various fighting between the Polish government in exile, the British government, the princely states, the British government of India, and so on. And there was an awful lot of kind of, they just didn't know what to do with all these refugees. And the Poles were an embarrassment to the British.
Yeah. I would like to, yes, Martha. I would like to show this paper to you. Just please on your video. Would you please on your video?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Hang on a sec.
This I'll show to you this paper. The title of the paper. Yeah. This is the title of the paper. Just I had this copy with me. It says that the Polish refugees in India during and after the Second World War. Anuradha Bhattacharya. So I think very less is about like this is the yellow what I had. Can you see?
Yes, but I can't read
it. Might be not visible, but the font is very small.
Yeah.
So,
Rohit,
yeah.
okay. So I think we have done our thing. I'll just say we can network with the authors, movie, that documentary will be prepared. Let's begin with them. Even we can invite Anuradha to speak on this. Slowly, we'll develop this area. Okay.
Yes.
See, they know better than us. We are just beginner, but we have another generation. We are with them. Let them know. They are students who are interested on migration studies, students who are working on memories, diaspora, and all. So we can bring them to this platform and listen to them, and slowly, our research also will go up.
Yeah, Martha.
Yeah. And I also, I told Rohit that when we were in Kolhapur, where we were staying, the host of the house where we were staying, I just found out now that he's doing an MA in anthropology, because he didn't tell me at the time. I said, well, I also have an MA in anthropology. But he was, like you say, he had no idea. And when we told him that, he was absolutely fascinated and wanted to find out more. So I don't know whether you can accommodate him in your project. I think he would be absolutely delighted to be involved. Rather than doing his own thing, it would make more sense for you to collaborate together.
Yes. Why not? Why not? He's most welcome. And because he's not far from my place, I will connect him. No problem. Please provide his connect number, please.
Yes, okay. I have sent him your number, so I'm sure he'll get in touch. But I will also send you his.
Yeah. Martha, I will be completing my MA something around, sir, is it right what I'm talking? I will be completing my MA somewhere in between 2005, 2025.
Right.
basically I am a management student. I've done my MBA, MPhil, but I am
Okay.
so I have done MBA, MPhil, and I'm doing my MA in migration and diaspora. Yeah.
Yes.
So I will be completing somewhere in mid 2025, and
Right.
I would like to explore over the world because I never knew that this subject is going to suck me like this.
Oh.
So I'm totally over. It is nostalgic. I think now I got the chord. In fact, I'm more interested than the business studies now. This is something that in social sciences. I would like to tell you, when I was doing my board exams, I scored 96 out of 100. It was, it was natural tilt towards
Yes.
this subject.
Yes.
And so after so many years, I'm running 46, 47 now. And after so many years, somewhere I feel that this is what I should be doing.
Oh,
But
that's
anyways,
wonderful.
better late to be never. So
Yes.
this is what I think. So I had many things to be done in this particular field. This is just a start. And Martha, we have Jews diaspora
Yes.
uh, in Maharashtra, in the western coast. Sir knows very well. Sir has visited the ancestral place of the Irish Prime Minister. When he came to Kolhapur, he just went to the Konkan area.
Oh,
You know,
oh
Yes,
wow.
Sadanand sir, and
Mm.
one was this is one Jewish diaspora, Parsi diaspora. We had
Yes.
Chinese diaspora. There was one Dr. Wu in Kolhapur serving
Yes.
to the princely state. And sir, Sada sir, he has his own dentist hospital in Kolhapur, and he's well connected to the Calcutta diaspora, Chinese diaspora. He told
They
me.
have a large group there.
Okay.
So can
Mhm.
we meet him next time when I come?
Yeah, please, sir. I will take his appointment. No problem. You're most welcome.
So he'll be in Kolhapur.
Yes, he's in Kolhapur. Normally, for 3 days he's in Kolhapur. He practice in Kolhapur. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday he's in Bombay. So this is how he works between Bombay and Kolhapur. He
It's
knows
very
Marathi very well.
interesting.
Yeah, he knows
Oh,
fluent Marathi. Hey, a Chinese person is talking in Marathi. People are amused when they see for the first time. So fluent. So Martha, there were, in Polish holiday camp, there were villagers around, still in their 80s. They used to, now local people tell me, they used to talk very good Polish language, sir.
yes, yes, that's what I heard too. They
They
still
sell,
speak Polish.
yeah, they
Do they?
used to sell vegetables, and they got to very well with these Polish people,
Yes.
So
Unfortunately,
basically,
not many Polish people learned Marathi, but the local people, many of them learned Polish.
they
But
catch
you
up.
know that
Yeah, it's all.
it's interesting that very few Polish people actually stayed in India. And
Mhm.
when I read Anuradha's book, I found out it was because the British government wouldn't allow them to.
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
So that's
Only
very
the
interesting
yeah,
too.
yeah. Only the exception case is that about this Vanda Novika. She got married to the local
Yes,
uh,
yes,
Malti
yes,
Kashika.
yes.
Exception to that,
And
British didn't allow anybody to stay back.
yes, so that's very interesting. And that's why there isn't a Polish diaspora actually in India. And all those people who were in India, they're all over the world, not in India.
But
The only person who did stay in India was Kira Banaszynska as well,
Yeah.
the consul's wife. So he lost his job as the consul,
Yes,
but
yes.
they returned and lived in India.
They got the Indian citizenship.
Yes.
Yes, they got the Indian citizenship. Yes, they stayed here. Yeah, you are right.
So there's
And,
very few. And it's
yeah.
kind of sad that all those people who talked about the wonderful time in India where they regained their childhood because after
Yes,
those
yes.
terrible
Yeah,
experiences,
yeah, yeah.
and then they couldn't stay.
Yeah, couldn't stay. There is one more lady, in fact, I am about to know, coming to know that apart from Alti Kashikar, Vanda Novika, there was one more lady who got married to the local. I'm still
Oh,
exploring. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes.
okay.
If you've
Well,
seen
I'm
the
just
document,
really fascinated. Anything that you find out, please send me, because it was
yeah,
wonderful to get those two photographs
thank
with
you. Thank you.
any
There is,
more of those. I will be delighted to hear about them.
yeah, sure, sure. It's my pleasure. if you see the documentary of Solanki, Krishna Rao Solanki, that is available on Google, and you will find that he
What's that
also
one?
telling that, yeah, Krishna Rao Solanki, a documentary. Krishna Rao Solanki, no, it is his interview, no documentary, it is his interview. Krishna Rao Solanki.
Okay.
And in his interview, he has told this, that there is one more lady who got married to a local person. And he couldn't recall. So I'm just exploring down that. I'm trying to find out who the next lady is.
I think Anuradha's got photographs of various people, and I think there was one more in her book as well.
Okay, please.
This is a great fount of knowledge, actually. I highly recommend. It's not terribly well written. There's quite a lot of repetition, but the research is fantastic. Wonderful,
fantastic.
wonderful information.
She's done a wonderful work. Absolutely, absolutely.
And Martha, are you in touch with your Russia ancestral place?
Sorry?
Are you in touch with your ancestral place in Siberia?
Poland.
Oh, in Poland, yeah, I have extensive family in Poland because my father was one of 6 and he was the only one that left Poland. And my mother was one of 2 and her sister stayed in Poland. So all my cousins and uncles, and well, not many uncles and aunts anymore, but all my cousins are in Poland. And in fact, in June, there's a family reunion, which I was supposed to be going to, but in the end, I'm not. But yes, I think all of us in the UK, who were born here, but whose parents are Polish, we all have contact with Poland.
Okay.
Go on.
You are not in India. You didn't. Your childhood, you are born and brought up in the UK only, or
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I was born in London, long after the war ended.
Yes.
Well, not that long. Not that long. Actually.
So your knowledge about Polish people in Kolhapur is through your mother only.
My godmother, yes. Yes. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, you see, that generation, the people who are actually there, it's late now to be asking them. But they have, they have put it there. They've got it out there in their various publications. There have been documentaries made and so on. So, yeah, so to get people to speak now, I mean, I'll definitely speak to Ivona. She knows she probably knows everybody. And I'll ask her. I mean, she might be somebody who'd be willing to speak.
Okay.
Because she's been involved.
Yes, one thing we can do, maybe we can ask in between, but some of your generational, you are like one generation, then younger people from your generation, very young, like 20 years, 30 years, let them also ask and interact, something like that.
Yes. Well, you see, that's the thing. So that next generation will be less interested, but I'm sure that we will find people who are fascinated by their grandparents' stories.
Yes,
or even their great-grandparents' stories. So that is, again, I need to get more contacts within the whole association, and we can find the people that we can interact with. And we were talking with Rohit because, of course, in the Balibada camp, the scouting movement was very, very important. Everybody was in the scouts. And also the main contact with the Indian community for the young people was with the Indian scouts. And if that might be a path to follow, I don't know whether you've looked at Indian scouting movement in Kolhapur, and if there's anybody within the scouts who has any memories of those interactions. Because, as my godmother told me, the British didn't want those Polish refugees to interact a lot with Indians. They wanted to keep them apart, but they couldn't deny the Polish scouts and the English and the Indian scouts. They couldn't deny them the right to meet and have activities together. So that might be another thing to look at.
Yeah, Martha, taking this subject
yes,
ahead.
and that's what we were saying. So maybe our younger people who are still in the scouting movement, in Polish scouts in the UK, there may be some young people there who'd be interested in doing something.
Absolutely right. I would like to share a link to you, Martha.
Yes, please.
There is an interview of Mr. Maruti Dhumal. MA. Would you please take it down?
Yeah. So Sorry, jammed my pen.
Otherwise, I will share you that link. No problem. No problem.
Yes, do please send me any links or any references. Please do send them to me, and I'll look them up.
Yeah, I met that the grandson of Mr. Maruti Dhumal, who was a scout, head in
Okay.
Kolhapur.
Okay.
He's no more. Sadly, he passed away somewhere around 2016. But he had shared all the memories very beautifully narrated in that particular his interview. And
wonderful.
uh, uh, it is a film of Akriti Films. They had interviewed Mr. Maruti Dhumal, and I was also not knowing whether he's there, but I found his house. I went to, I called his grandson. He welcomed me to his home. We had an interview, and he told that uh, all those things that his grandfather used to tell him. So, sir, Sadanand sir, I had mentioned that in that particular, I had sent you the literature work.
Oh, great! That would be really great.
I'll
And
share you that.
Go on.
Yeah, how this scout at that time, how they had organized the scout at camp Rajputwadi, and all those Polish scout as well as Hindu scout used to mix together, and they used to go to camp in Rajputwadi, that is around 8-10 kilometers away from Kolhapur city. So he has narrated very well in his interview. Only thing is that you will not be able to understand Marathi. It's in the Marathi because Maruti Dhimal has given it in Marathi language. I somehow I translated in English. I was sent to Sadasar that particular what he has narrated because we want to include in this paper journey.
Yes, yes. And you can include it in the seminar as well. All these, because have you filmed all the interviews?
Yeah.
So those will be wonderful. Of course, I won't be able to understand them, but we need somebody to put the subtitles on them.
No, he has told that when scouts were about to leave Kolhapur, that they had organized a campfire and you can say they had decorated and they had tried to create the consciousness of environment, how the trees should be protected, like fireflies at night with the small bulbs and with the run upon the battery. So he has vividly mentioned everything in that. Very beautiful, very nice. So that I would say to you, but of course it is in Marathi. But I had somehow tried to translate it, and I have sent that to sir also. Sir, we will share that Martha also.
Okay. And maybe some, our idea and whatever we can write on paper, this we can type it and send to Martha. And we can see our plan of, activities where we can together engage. Thank you.
Martha, this is an attempt to start on the software beginning initially, and then we will go on sharing whatever we are trying to explore on this research. And we had idea of virtual museum also, that if you would like to be a part of that, we'll be happy. And
I'd very much like to be part of whatever you're doing. And if some of that means translating Polish documents, I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you.
And I'm so pleased to meet you both. And
really excited. Same here, Martha. So nice to, you are so welcoming our ideas, and we'll look forward.
Yeah, great. And I hope I'll see you in India next time.
Yes, I would like to welcome you. So I was about to ask you when you're revisiting Kolhapur again.
Well, I'm waiting for some reason to go, So if the museum starts to take off and people here say, yes, we've got artifacts, then I could, come and bring things. So I'm waiting for a specific reason.
But that specific reason will be coming soon. I'm very hopeful. So
I hope so.
you plan accordingly. Very nice, sir. Sada sir, your timing and Martha, your timing also were very crucial for this interaction. And you have given your precious time for this interaction on a very important topic. Thank you so much, both of you. And
yes, and Dr. Sahu, thank you so much for adjusting your
Thank you, Dr.
timetable to fit in around my availability. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Okay, see you
And
again soon, I hope.
yes.
bye bye. Take care.
Bye.
Okay.